1. Oh my god. Postmates is the most toxic company in the food service industry right now. So I was working my normal double shift because a lot of our employees are going on unemployment due to it being the last week to collect in my state. Totally fair. I'm just working a lot more because of it and trying to keep the restaurant open because we have amazing owners and management and I would hate to see the restaurant go under. Anyway, we hit a busy dinner rush and all of a sudden the dreaded Postmates number pops up in our phone. Keep in mind, the majority of our business is done through phone orders, so our phone is constantly ringing. Our owners have even said that it's okay to hang up in Postmates because 1, they take 30 to 50% of the sales, so it's not even worth the time, and 2, the call takes unbearably long because they outsource their orders to a call center who call us and have no idea what they're ordering. Either way, the phone rings and I just decide to pick it up because I have a second of time before I help another customer. Not to mention that people who want to order can't call because the line is busy. So I pick up the phone. It's a fucking robot! Postmates has now come to the consensus that outsourcing is costing too much and has set up an automated system that takes 20 minutes to put your order in because it takes these long pauses. Halfway through the order, I hang up on the robot. 3 seconds later, the phone rings again. I pick it up and immediately hang up. 3 seconds later, again. Normally, I'm very calm at work and I try to make the experience at our restaurant as pleasant as possible. But at this point, I've become visibly frustrated and even a customer who was being difficult waiting to pick up their food noticed and sat down quietly. After the 4th call, I guess they then use a call center person, and I feel so bad about it now, but I ripped into him. Stop calling my restaurant! We are tired of taking your orders! This is not how you run a business! I do feel really bad about this now, but at the time I believed I was doing the right thing. Needless to say, I had to go to the back to just gather myself, and I have told our owners who are contacting Postmates today to take us off their stupid site. F you, Postmates. Go die in a hole. 2. Need to vent. Been carrying this one around for a while. I was a cashier at an old-school style diner with about 18 booths, 7 tables, a counter that can seat 15. Been working there years. It's definitely the kind of place that's attracted the rougher types in my city, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, it's a Sunday morning around 11. The lunch rush is just started to pile in. All the booths in the restaurant are taken, all the tables in the back are filled, and there's a line of about 12 to 15 people literally forming a chain throughout the restaurant, and quite literally blocking nearly every booth in the front half of the restaurant due to the odd cramped structure of the diner. I had been in a perfectly pleasant and good mood, managing over the counter, which is where I mostly tended to, refilling coffees for customers at the counter and greeting customers as they walk in, and letting them know there's a line, in case the line of standing customers literally blocking any arriving customers from being able to make their way through the diner wasn't clue enough. Now, I had been talking to a decent customer of mine for just a few seconds, refilling his cup, and bringing him his check when an overweight, over-it-looking, half-liddy-eyed dad with his arms crossed like a toddler, and his nappy dreadlocks in my face removes himself from the back of the line, and plops himself right in front of my register, not saying anything, just looking pissy and ready to pop off. Seeing as I can spot these car crashes from miles away, but I was in a good mood, I cheerily moved from the regular I'd been chatting with almost immediately, upon Pissy Daddy sitting himself near me, and I greet him with my most chipper, authentic, friendly voice. Hey, are you guys? I noticed the stick of a woman who looked like his battered wife and 2 small children who were far more polite than either of their parents. I would quickly find out all standing behind their pouting bitch of a father. Waiting for a booth or a table, or are we eating at the counter? I, of course, knew a family of 4 had no intentions of wanting to sit at the counter on a Sunday morning, but I was following the script.
No, we don't want to eat at no counter. We're gonna eat at that booth right there.
Pouty bitch motions with his head toward booth 5, where a solo elderly woman is just about to pay for her check. Again, keep in mind every booth in the restaurant is filled, and you can see pretty far back into the restaurant, even from the entrance. At least 12 booths and 3 tables worth. Every table is filled. There's dozens of people filling up the entire front half of the restaurant, waiting for a booth or a table, as counter has always been a no-wait policy, if there's room. I can tell he's having a bad week, but I remain firm and continue having the most sing-song customer service-oriented voice, while wasting my energy on smiling and continuing to try to avoid the inevitable. Oh, did our host Tommy, my manager, the guy I clearly see at the front of the restaurant, sending people to booths and tables up ahead to the back of the restaurant, clear that up for you to sit there? I swear to God, I didn't even have a trace of attitude or condescension or anything in my tone or body language, unlike this jagoff. But me saying those few words made this dude blow up.
No, host? What host? No one said nothing about no host.
Okay, well, yeah, we have a policy here where
I've been coming here for years. I ain't never had no host.
Well, typically, when we have a line,
I gotta get in line? I already got out of line to talk to you. Now you're telling me I got to get back in line.
Well, I noticed you were in the very back, and since I came to you right away, it's not like anyone's even gotten ahead of you in line.
I don't know why you're talking to me like I'm slow.
I was honestly just strongly enunciating at this point, and talking a little slow out of my own disbelief that this bitch was actually being that petty. Because you don't seem to understand the very simple concepts I'm giving you. Dude, no matter what I did, this guy was determined to bitch and whine and complain and throw his aggressiveness at me no matter what. He ended up staying like 15 minutes shouting at me, until I was near threatening to call the police on this fucking chump. Until my weasel manager at the time gave him our office number, sent him on his way. And the corporate bitches gave him a free $50 gift card. Well, I slaved away at that shithole every holiday, every weekend for pennies. Get out of the industry while you can. 3. Okay, for starters, I decided I didn't really want to deal with crappy customers, and since I've been at my job for a while, they allowed me to go back to hosting and security on weekends. I worked in a very touristy city at a restaurant that experiences a high volume basically every day. It is very common for us to be on a wait basically all day. We are receiving guests from literally all over the US because some states aren't open yet. My restaurant has been voted the best seafood in the city for the last 4 years now, and we just added 3 more floors to our restaurant before COVID shut everything down. Now, since we are usually on a wait at the start of my shift at 4 until our kitchen closes at 11, the waitlist system that we use allows us to take down the guest's number and text them when the table is ready. There's a couple things that bug me. One, when people walk in, ask for a table, and I inform them about the wait. Sometimes it can get up to 3 hours, which has happened multiple times over the last 2 months. They'll walk around and see we have like 3 tables that are ready to be sat, and they look at me like I'm an idiot, because I just told them they were on wait for X amount of time. They then proceed to yell at me and tell me about the open tables they see. And if that's the case, why are we on a wait? I have literally had to show multiple people the waitlist we have and explain to them that all these people in front of them are currently waiting on those tables and have been for whatever duration of time it's been. Our waitlist tells us how long the guest has waited out of the time we quoted them. And then they still give me shit and leave angry or yell at me because I'm incompetent. Incompetent? Because last I checked, you're the one that doesn't understand something as simple as a wait list. And I just want to say that I'm aware that not everyone works in the industry and might not know how a wait list works. But even if that's the case, which sometimes it is, once I explain to them what's going on, they're typically pretty understanding. It's the Karens that I'm talking about. 2, when people ask me if I can just kick some people out so they can be sat right away, or how about we just tell them to get up? Like, no, You can't do that. Stop being a jerk and understand the world doesn't revolve around you. Which, by the way, those are the same people who camp out at tables. And lastly, I cannot stand it when people just assume that their business is the be-all and end-all in the restaurant. I've had so many entitled people say things like, "We're gonna take our business elsewhere. 45 minutes, it's ridiculous." And it's like, dude, I work for a fucking multi-million-dollar restaurant. Your $150 isn't even going to put a dent in the sales. 4. Oh man, this group. I have never turned to a manager before and said, "I'm done. I'm not going back over there." But I did last night. Yesterday was a particularly slow Monday. I didn't have any tables till 5:30. These two-tops sat in my section and wanted happy hour. High-tops only, of course, so I moved them to the right section. The hostesses were able to get me a new table immediately, and it was a group of 8. 6, hopefully drunk, otherwise yikes, women. I'm putting money on past sorority sisters, and 2 boys around 8 years old. I should have just gave the 2-top happy hour and taken the wrath from management. The 8-top is immediately obnoxiously loud, and it's pretty much just seat number 3 causing it. Seats 4 to 6 were pretty loud as well, but while they were just raising their voices, 3 was actually yelling as if she had earplugs in. They also have a birthday at the table. "Oh my god, girls, let's sing. Every time someone mentions the birthday, we have to sing," and they did. They sung, screamed happy birthday no less than 5 times, 1 for every round of drinks and shots. By the time the appetizers came out, my management had already walked up to them about a noise complaint from a table across the restaurant. Seat number 3, a grown adult, goes to the bathroom, but stops halfway and asks me,
"Wait, do I need to wear a mask?"
"Yes, ma'am, you do when you're traveling around the restaurant."
"Are you sure?"
"Yes, ma'am."
"Like, really sure?"
This conversation happened multiple times with seat number 3 and our other staff members. She would stop a staff member every time she ran to her car, went to the bathroom, checked out the restaurant, ran after a kid and asked,
"Are you sure I gotta wear a mask?"
And of course, never wear it. My work doesn't allow staff to enforce mask policy, so I can't do anything but answer her questions and maintain a 6 feet distance. First round of drinks comes out. Seat number 2 keeps drinking seat number 1's cocktail, even though she has her own margarita to work on. Gets a good bit of the way through her friend's drink, turns to her with a sour face and goes,
"You like that?"
Seat number 1 says, "I don't know." She finally gets to try her half-gone cocktail. She says, yeah, she likes it. 2 goes,
"Are you sure?"
"I don't know." So seat 2 sends back a cocktail that's not even hers. Has me get seat 1 a new drink. That new drink never got touched. I think she actually really liked the first one. And seat 2 didn't give a flying fuck that seat 4 had the same drink as seat 1. She didn't send back that one. Just the one she got to have half of for free. Thankfully, this was the only issue I ever had with seats 1 and 2. Otherwise, they were great. Apps get dropped. Kids' food gets dropped. I'm standing there taking the ladies' orders, and I'm watching the boys who are to my left and in front of me. One of the boys is enjoying his first ever Shirley Temple. I was so happy to give it to him, y'all. I shoved so many cherries in that kid's cup. He's sitting there chugging his daily requirement of sugar when he sort of sits up while still drinking and turns toward me. He pulls the straw from the cup with liquid still in the straw, and his mouth was so full his cheeks were bulging, turned toward me, and spit his drink through the straw down my legs. I have never, ever been spit on. What in the actual? I let out a bewildered, "Excuse me?" as my legs are dripping Shirley Temple in 8-year-old saliva during a global pandemic. The mom laughs, even praises him.
Good one, Tom.
I walk away, thankfully had everyone's orders when it happened. Was getting menus. Go and take the Clorox wipes to my legs. I come back out, head to a different table, and seat number 3 is rushing me from across the restaurant, absolutely hauling ass without a mask on. Even though they just got a bunch of apps, I went ahead and put in their dinner orders while I was cleaning myself up, just to get them TFO. Seat number 3 is running after me across the restaurant. CCTV I watched later. She catches up to me, grabs my arm and turns me around. No mask. Proceeds to get in my face to the point our breasts are physically touching and goes,
We have a birthday at the table. Do you guys do anything for that? Like sing, maybe? Ooh, or cake. Bring out a cake. Do you have a chocolate one and candles?
The entire time she's going on about this request, I'm backing up slowly. She's following me step for step. I have backed up so far that I have now backed up into another table that actually has people eating at it. And she is still tit-to-tit with me, going on about cake and singing. I can smell the alcohol on her breath through my mask. She is so close and maskless. Finally get her happy with a slice of baked Alaska for the table for free, and she finally fucks off. The table I backed into wouldn't let me apologize for being on top of them practically, and actually turned out to be the table who complained about the noise in the beginning. They were 100% on my side after getting the full experience just now with guest number 3, and would continue to be on my side and explain to the managers what was going on. I hate that their meal got ruined by this one drunk table. They were really such nice ladies whose experience was ruined by this terrible group. So I bring out dessert, baked Alaska, set it on fire. Ooh, ah! That dessert didn't stand a chance, it was gone. I go back over to make sure no one wants another cocktail and box. And seat number 3 goes,
Why did the hostess yell at us earlier?
Oh, well, that was the manager. She was informing that you have a noise complaint against your party.
Who complained? Tell me who complained, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I can't release that information.
You can? Huh, okay. Well, you can tell her to fuck off.
Yeah, that's my manager. I can't do that either.
Oh, okay, well, you can fuck off then.
Okay. I walk away. I walked right up to my manager and asked her to cash them out and handle whatever they had left. I was done. We had 4 different managers in the building that day, and all 4 had been watching the table since the noise complaint before apps. So she didn't ask any questions from me, and just printed the check for them and walked over, said, Hey everyone, here's your check. It's time for you to head on out of here. Seat number 2, who is actually a really nice lady and doesn't deserve to be roped in with her crappy friends. But you should choose your friends better, starts apologizing for everyone's behavior. My manager just says, It's time to go. Just keeps repeating it till number 2 paid for the entire check, $304 after discounts, and they left. I go with my bussers and start bussing this absolutely wrecked table. One of the bussers reaches under the table and grabs this aqua blue pile of fabric. He turns it this way and that, trying to figure out how you'd wear this sort of face mask. When he spots the skid marks. Yes, my table left their shitty panties under my table. And guess whose seat they were by? Lucky number 3. What the actual fuck, y'all? I just can't believe that actually happened last night. Seat number 2 did leave a tip, $60 on 304. Yes, there were a couple of small discounts, free birthday dessert, and 2 cent back one's drink early on. Check otherwise would have been about 320 or so. 5. I work at a nice neighborhood restaurant. It's a small, independent place, with many regulars and a lot more randos. Being in a medium-sized town that's 30 minutes outside of a large city, we get a lot of people that want to feel like they're in the city without actually going to the city. We serve French food and French fusion, usually with southern takes on French dishes. It's not fine dining, but it's about a step or two below fine dining. My first table tonight was a couple that had never been in before, and they were way dressed up. The guy was in a nice suit and the woman in a nice dress. The host told them that they had to wear a mask any time they weren't at their table and gave them disposable masks. Immediately they complained and refused to put the masks on, so he promptly led them to their table to not cause commotion. Kinda his fault for not doubling down on the masks, but that's irrelevant. I took them water glasses and a bottle and asked if they would like drinks. The usual routine. They were incredibly standoffish, and I took the non-verbal cues and gave them their space. No problem, it happens a lot. Every time I approached the table, they were visibly agitated that I had interrupted them. They skip drinks and appetizers and go straight to entrees. After their entrees are done, I ask if they would like dessert or more water, and they decline and ask for the check. After they pay, they tell me, "Our water glasses stayed empty for about 10 minutes, just so you know. Also, we expect you to come up for a nice dinner, but the service here is not good. We are overdressed, and you should pay more attention." Also, they have a water bottle on their table to refill their glasses, and given the pandemic, we are not supposed to constantly fill their water glasses. Under normal circumstances we would, but right now it is a health hazard. They then said the same thing to the manager, again referencing that they feel overdressed compared to everyone, including the manager. The tip was still 20%, so I'm certainly not complaining about that. But they were rude, complained about literally everything except the food, and kept insisting that the fact that they were overdressed caused them to have a bad experience, as well as me not hovering over the table, which again, they clearly gave non-verbal cues that they didn't want me to do that. I don't claim to be the best server, but I'm damn good at my job, and do not appreciate this sort of behavior. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates, episode 108. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. I also have a little bit of a shout out to do here, I believe. My brain's telling me there's a shout out to be done. Come on, brain. Which one? There we go. Okay, to the author of the last story there, story number 5. Reddit user Low Strung. Thank you very kindly, Low Strung, for allowing me to use your story in this video. Much appreciated. Right, what day is this? Alright, I'll let you know a secret. It's actually Tuesday, but this will be going up on Saturday, so that means there should be a gaming stream tonight. I'm probably going to do it a bit earlier. I know the gaming streams aren't as popular, but it's not really about the gaming. I can have a dancing monkey on screen, and it would really just be about a way to chat to people. Oh, actually, I just got a question in chat. I will answer it here for them as needed. What prompts shoutouts? Well, that's quite easy. Someone asks for a shoutout. I don't do them for everybody because not everybody wants them. But if I'm using a story for somebody, or if it's a subscriber and there's a birthday or some sort of thing coming up, just a little message, a little request, and it happens. I'll give a shout out. I'll plug a YouTube channel or some such. Obviously, probably not a good idea to plug any of YouTube's rivals, but yeah, shout outs are no problem. People just have to ask for them. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.